Hey, hey, hey. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Office Hours with Lanora. Thank you for joining me on today. We all know it. If you don't, I'll tell you why. Office Hours with Lanora was created to serve 3 points. The first point was to help anyone interested in a career in real estate learn about their options. The second point was for anyone who has already started or contemplating starting a pre-licensing course, learn how to pass that course as well as the licensing exam on a first attempt. And the third reason why Office Hours with Lenora was created, to make sure that those that are already in the industry stay in the industry. So I don't know. What's going on with you? How you doing? Look, like Wendy Williams said, how you doing? I am having a good day myself. I hope that everyone is continuing to stay safe. Sounds like and it feels like the world is opening back again. So let's get you ready if you are considering a career in real estate on working with clients for the first time. Or maybe, you just want to brush off some cobwebs if you've already started working with clients. So today's episode of Office Hours with Lenora will center around your first client relationships. Some of the do's and don'ts that I recommend or suggest that you do or don't do. So let's begin. And the do's and don'ts that I've selected are in no specific order. By no means does it lump everything into one category, but I just wanted to kind of pull some things from my head to express to you just some key ones that I think you should take into consideration. Let's look at the first one. Be on time. Be on time. Time management in real estate is huge. You want to make sure that you are creating the energy for that day, for that experience with your clients. So if you're late, you're throwing everything off. Here's another thing that I suggest that you do if you're not in the habit of doing it already. Send reminders to your clients. I know that you probably established, hey, we're going to meet over at 123 Main Street at 5 p.m. and that's it. At 5 p.m. on Thursday. Okay, so what happens between that appointment and when you set it? You want to send a reminder, maybe even multiple reminders to your client, because it continues to place a seed or plant a seed to let them know, hey, I'm really diligent and efficient and I'm making sure that I communicate with you. I would normally send a reminder the day before as well as 1 hour before the actual appointment, because you're going to get some people that say, oh, I forgot. You don't want to be in that boat. If they're serious, they're going to remember. Okay, one other thing that I did, I like to put statistics in my conversations with you all. According to a National Association of Realtors survey, it is also said that 88% of clients, 88%, that's a big number, expect a reply back from their real estate professional within an hour. So if you're taking umpteen hours, or maybe you're at work at your full-time job and you're just doing real estate part-time and you're taking forever to get back to your clients, whether it's email, text, or a phone call, they're probably going to be shopping with someone else. So take that into consideration too. Number 2, do more and go above and beyond for your clients. What I mean by that is you're going to what do I like to say? There's a saying where you under promise and over deliver. So you're going to create the stage and you're going to take into consideration everything that your clients' expectations of you are, that you deliver on those, but you roll out the red carpet for everything else. You set or create such an experience for them that they cannot forget and they will always come back to you, okay? Let's talk about mastering the art of listening to your client. You'd be surprised how many of us in the real estate industry think we know it. We know exactly what the client needs. But what if that client has special needs? Maybe they need a ramp because of someone with a disability. Maybe they need 5 bedrooms and at least 6 bathrooms because something, I don't know if you're going to find it, but they might have those special needs. Maybe they have financial or budgetary constraints. It could be a group, a family, a number of family members coming together to purchase an apartment building, yet they need the first floor, the second floor, and a finished basement because they all want to reside in the building. You've got to take those special needs, those accommodations, listen to what they're telling you. Don't just assume that we're just going to go out and find something and that's it. They have to make the back end accommodations. You don't want to set your client up like that. Let's talk about communicating throughout the process. I was notorious when I worked full-time as a broker, following every checkbox and checking it off. What I mean by that, establish the relationship with the client. Get them to the point of where they have made an offer and it's been accepted. Get them through the closing and then keep the relationship going even after the closing. That's important because if you find those different checkpoints where you're keeping it conversational with your client, they trust you and they're going to always come back to you, and you will know of an issue that could present itself much faster than if you just happen to check in because you got to clear the close. Don't do your clients like that. If you don't want to be treated like that, do the golden rule. Consider that one. You okay? Do others, treat others as you would like to be treated. Let's talk about the next do. Dress appropriately. I don't need to tell anybody how to dress because, financially, some of us don't have all the money to pay for expensive labels and things like that. I'll tell you right now, this shirt that I have on right now, I bought from Ross for $4.99. I felt it was appropriate enough to be in front of the camera today. It's clean, it's long sleeves. I'm happy. But I'm not going to put on my after 5 wear when it's 12:30. So make sure that you're dressing appropriately for your client relationships. If you're selling a multi-million-dollar property or you're showing a multi-million-dollar property, I don't care if the property was $5,000. Jeans might not be appropriate, but that's the relationship that you establish. That's how you want to paint your business. That's what you want to be seen as the professional and known for. Being relaxed, wearing a polo shirt, khakis, whatever. Just make sure it's appropriate and it's not offensive to anyone. Ill-fitting clothing can probably get you or your deal tossed right out. Let's also talk about how we treat each client like they're our only client. I wouldn't care if you're juggling, and it's the juggle act. If you're juggling umpteen, 10, 15 clients at a time, for anybody that's doing that, good job. But if you have multiple clients, even if it's 2, you have to treat each one of those clients like they're your only one. The reason why is because they're expecting you to cater to their specific scenario or their need for a real estate property. They're not looking for you to juggle and be taking phone calls when you're on appointments with them or saying, oh, give me 1 second, let me handle this. I got to talk to another client about something. Oh no, that's their time. If they've blocked time with you, it should be about them. So make sure you treat them as if they're your only client. Now, when emergencies present themselves, make sure you inform your client that you're with about that emergency because we don't want that to go neglected either. But make sure it's not a habit that you're not paying attention. Okay. Let's talk about being a subject matter expert. You are the person that has gone to school for your real estate license. You've passed that rigorous licensing exam. You've gone through the process of paying your money to join a real estate association and to become more knowledgeable about the field of real estate and all that. Why would you not be a subject matter expert? That's the whole reason why people are coming to you. Think about it. The fact that you've done all of that, the average person that's seeking to purchase or sell real estate have not done that. So they're expecting you to know the rules, the regulations, the zoning, what they can do, what, outside of what they qualify for. You should know the difference between a galley kitchen and an eat-in kitchen. You should know the difference between a laminate and hardwood floors. If you're not, let's say, honing your craft or continuing the process of learning about this field or this industry, and it initially becoming a subject matter expert, you're going to be out the industry really, really fast because your clients are going to be much smarter than you. Don't let the internet take you out of a position. Okay, let's remember the milestones that are part of the client relationship. What I mean by milestones: birthdays, holidays, whether or not they celebrate holidays for religious beliefs. Don't just go sending out a blanket Merry Christmas card. What if they're Jewish? What if they practice the Islamic faith? You don't want to offend anyone. As well as you want to remember those special days. Like, for example, Mother's Day was just past Sunday. My mom and my grandma has recently passed. It was a tough day for me. But being a real estate professional, I would have reached out to those clients that I know that this may have been a very tough day for them, to let them know, hey, I'm here for you, even if it was a text message. Okay? Let's also talk about the different agreements that I recommend you secure. We're going to talk about the exclusive buyer agency agreement, as well as the exclusive right to sell. The exclusive buyer's agency agreement is when you're working primarily with a client as a buyer. You're representing them as a buyer. You want to lock in that relationship because I'll tell you why. They're shopping. So if I know that Amazon, Walmart, and Marshalls sell the same thing, but I have a credit card with Amazon, I'm more apt to use that credit card with Amazon because we have a relationship. And on paper, I have the ability to use them. I have access to them. Whereas these two, I don't know if I'm truly loyal to them or not. Getting your clients to buy in to working exclusively with you because you're time blocking. You're using your time to set aside for them to meet their needs. If they can't sign an agreement that says that, yes, I want to exclusively work with you for this set amount of time, they're not loyal to you. And you might be wasting your time or spinning your wheels. Let's also talk about one of the greatest do's that I recommend. Once you've serviced your clients and done an exceptional job, I recommend you ask for referrals. Don't leave a transaction open because you didn't open your mouth and say, is there someone else that I might be able to help, just like I helped you? You want to provide some contact information for said person, and I'll make sure that I reach out. Or perhaps we can just have you to introduce me to them, and let's see what I can do to help them as well. You're asking for business because you provided a service. You would be really surprised at how many people don't ask for the referral. If I've done all the work, I want the closing gift. Okay? Let's talk about some don'ts. Don't assume every client is tech savvy. I know that we have been in this pandemic for greater than a year. I know that a lot of people are looking into webinars and various other types of course offerings and Zoom classes. And to be frank, I'm about tired of the Zooms myself. But don't assume that your clients know how to use a computer. Don't assume they have a computer. Don't assume that they know the listings that you're going to be sending to them. They can open them up and know what to do with them. Think about your seniors. What if you're representing a client that's not tech savvy? You may have to print out some of those MLS sheets and take them on over to the house and make sure that your client has what he or she needs. Now, in this type of market, that might not be realistic with this being a seller's market. because properties are going off the market so fast. But that's the reason why, again, you're the subject matter expert. That's the reason why you have to be time sensitive, because you need to move to make sure that the best interest of your clients are being represented, okay? Let's talk about, don't you, the real estate professional, run from technology. I hear people say, "Ooh, I'm not on social media. Ooh, I'm on Facebook because it's so much trash on Facebook." Well, clean Facebook up. You get on there, you talk about your business, you start or influence others to follow you so that you can put some positivity on the various types of social media platforms. You don't have to get on these free. Did you hear me? Free. And you being a business owner, which having that license to practice real estate is your business, why not use the platforms that are free to advertise your services to attract potential clients? Don't cancel out the free stuff like Facebook. Figure out ways to compete, to put yourself out there. Take on the additional training that you may need. Maybe you can take a computer class or some type of Canvas class or to help you with your marketing, and do that online, since we are still pretty virtual, to help beef up that skill set, to help prepare your business for greater in the future. Let's also talk about, don't use industry jargon. Okay, if I say, well, I've got an ABR, SRS, SFR, a PSA, and an RENE, but I'm talking to someone who's not affiliated or have knowledge of the real estate industry. All that just went over their head. They're like, what the? You got all these letters behind your name on your business card. I don't know what any of them are. And you're talking to me like I know what that is. For the record, those are designations and certifications. And if you don't know what that is, call me or email me. I'll help you learn more about it. But the reason why I don't want you to talk industry jargon, because if you're speaking to your clients that way, you will lose them. They're not going to understand what you're saying. Keep it simple. I represent buyers. I have earned the designation as an accredited buyer representative. So that means I know what you need to be able to get your next property. So you should work with me, okay? Let's talk about, don't be on your phone. And while you're on your phone in these various showings with clients, don't be the one, well, I'm recording with my phone, so I'll use this as the phone. Don't be the one going live and showing everything to everybody. Think about it. Did you get permission to go live? You are in someone else's property. You set a private showing for a set time and day. Did the owner of that property give you permission to record the interior of their home? They could probably have expensive possessions out in the open, which they shouldn't, but just let's say hypothetically, they could have expensive possessions out in the opening that the staging company put out there. But you're the one on Facebook and all these other areas and showing everything off, and you didn't get permission from your client, which is why when I see lives and they are showing properties and the client is there, I see them ducking. They're trying to get out the way because they don't want to be on camera. Get the okay from your clients first. Don't be on your phones in the appointments because you're trying to schedule something, unless it's an emergency. You're trying to schedule something else somewhere else with somebody else. That's rude. And we want to make sure that we keep it professional at all times, okay? Let's talk about, don't ignore your client preferences. What I mean by that is, maybe you have a millennial who prefers text messaging versus you calling them and having an actual conversation. Maybe you have someone vice versa. They want you to email them versus calling or texting, so on and so forth. Know what your client's preferences are. Many of your clients are at work during the day, and they probably can't talk on a phone while they're at work. So if you're emailing, calling, texting, they probably can't have their phone out and they don't know that you're calling. Set a designated time, like Find out when your client goes on lunch. Make that the time and don't take up their whole lunchtime or period. Maybe save out 10 minutes, and at this point, let the floodgates open. Get everything out that you need to get out within that 10 minutes and tell them to enjoy their lunch. But have a designated time that you can communicate with your clients. Also, I want you to refrain from showings during dinner. I have a set time that I sit down with my children for dinner at night. If my home was for sale, of course I want to sell it. But having that family time is more important to me than someone walking through my house that could potentially not even buy it. So that's my advice. Let's talk about next. Don't be a salesperson. Ugh. Who wants a salesperson? When you go into a store, like a furniture store, and before you can put your foot over that threshold, everybody has seen you come in, and here comes that salesperson. They're following you everywhere you go. Did you need help? Here's my card if you need help. Let me know. My name is Lanora. No, go away. Because if you do that to me, I'm probably not going to buy with you. I've already researched what I wanted. I have an idea. I want 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a full finished basement, and my home to be brick. Now, if I were your client, I've told you what my wants are. Go above and beyond. Blow my socks off. Let me see what you can help me or provide me with the ultimate experience in what you locate in terms of a property. But don't sell anything. In real estate, you don't have to sell the house, the apartment building, whatever the case may be. When that family comes in and they see that kitchen and it's been updated and it's a fully finished basement with a pool table in the basement, it's sold. The house will sell itself. You don't have to be the aggressive salesperson. That's where your education, designation, certification, and you being a subject matter expert plays a huge part in your success in this business. Okay? Let's go. We just got a couple more or so. Don't avoid accountability. If you're late, say you're sorry. Promise not to do that again. As well, take ownership for that. I personally can't stand somebody that can't admit that they're wrong. Now, be accountable. If you know you've done something wrong, if you didn't call when you say you were going to call, if you didn't email back what you said you were supposed to email, or send a read receipt or something to confirm that your client received it, shame on you. But make sure you apologize to your client and keep that relationship and that open line of communications ongoing, okay? Finally, don't forget to make this process, whether it's your first client relationship or your umpteenth client relationship, don't forget to make this process memorable. It can be memorable for both you and your client, because at the end of the day, when you get to pass those keys across that table and you say congratulations to that first-time homeowner, and even if it was your first time completing a transaction in full, you did it. They did it. You both should be celebrating, okay? Take your client a closing gift. Say thank you. Ask for the referrals, but do the work to be able to get the referrals, okay? But remember the special days in your clients' lives. Make sure that they know who you are and that you didn't just help them with one transaction. I've got people calling me 20 years later. I don't represent clients anymore, but they still call me and say, Ms. Lanora, I'm interested in a property. Can you help me? I refer business out, okay? Although I still have a license, they call me. Same phone number and everything. It's important because I set the stage. I aimed really high and I over-delivered. The relationship that I've established with those clients made them call me again to be repeat business, and they also sent referrals. I want you to do the same. This is an amazing field that we're in, an amazing industry. The real estate industry, yeah, the market is like, woo, going crazy. It's a seller's market. But think about all the people that you get to help. How fulfilling that is and how well you can sleep at night knowing that you're helping out mankind, okay? Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Office Hours with Lanora. As I always do, I let you know what's going on at the Realtors Real Estate School. So the month of June, we're going to be offering the accelerated format for brokers. So Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4:30. It would start June 7th. June 14th, we'll start morning only sessions for the broker course, 9 a.m. to 12:45, 3 times per week. Takes a little over 6 weeks to finish it that way. And what else is coming up? Oh, in July, just so you guys know, the world is just trying to open up again. But over at the Chicago Association of Realtors and the Realtors Real Estate School, we're taking baby steps. So hopefully, all being equal, we will return back to the classroom settings in July, with some of our courses still being webinars. So Saturday sessions will start July 10th, and the residential leasing agent webinar will be June 28th. So I hope that if you have questions, you know what to do. Call or you can email me. I will look forward to talking to you on the very next episode of Office Hours with Lanora. Ta-ta for now. Bye-bye. Thank you all as well.